Hello and welcome to Pet Pals. I'm your host, Bethany Davidson. I'm the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. And joining me today, as always, is our volunteer, Randy Cooper. Today we're going to introduce you to just a few of the animals that we have available at the shelter. You're going to see some familiar faces and some new ones. Blue is going to be a new face to our viewers. He just became available for adoption earlier in the week, late last week. He is a 3 to 4 year old male pit bull mix. He came to us as a stray, so we've named him Blue based on his blue and white coat. He is full of energy, and he's going to need a lot of training. He hasn't had much training. He will sit, but it takes a little effort to get him to sit. He pulls on leash. He just is going to need a lot of attention, and we've color-coded him green accordingly. Green color coding here in our shelter means that they're going to be the animals that need the most amount of work. They're still good animals, obviously, but they just are going to need a little more attention from you. They're going to be the animals that are the most energetic and are going to get into trouble if they don't have a proper outlet. So if you leave Blue in your house all day and he's bored, he's going to tear some things up. He might chew on some things. But if you're making sure that he has toys to keep his attention, maybe some Kongs filled with treats that he can get into, long walks, taking him out and playing fetch and tug of war and those things, as long as he has a proper channel for all of his energies, he's going to turn into a great companion for you and your family. Color-coded green dogs may bark out of frustration or fear, so it's not necessarily an aggressive thing. It's just their way of letting you know that they're scared or frustrated. And they are also the animals that are fearful of change and may exhibit less than friendly demeanor here in our shelter environment. It's a stressful environment. Animals are coming to a new place, and some of them may have come from a comfortable home and now they're comfortable here, but it's a little different than, they're not lounging on sofas and getting loved on as much as they would probably like. And then the animals that have been out roaming free, like Blue here, are now in a confined space, and it just takes a while for them to adjust and get comfortable. As you can see, Blue has calmed down relatively quickly here, and he's getting some love from Randy. And if you think that he would be a great addition to your family, please stop by and visit. This cute little guy is Duke, and he is a 3 to 4 year old Jack Russell Terrier mix, and he is brand new to the adoption floor. He was just processed last night, so he's definitely eager and looking for somebody to take him to his new forever home. One of the things about Duke is that it was noted from his previous owner that he was having some seizures. He hasn't had any while he's been here, so we're not sure exactly right now what that issue was. But if you're thinking of taking him home, that's definitely something that you're going to have to think about, whether you're willing to take on an animal that has those types of medical issues in their past, and you want to consult your vet to make sure that it's something that they can help you with and that you're able to handle that and deal with it financially as well. Another issue that comes up with Duke is that he has a little bit of separation anxiety, so you're also going to want to make sure that you're prepared to handle that when you're bringing him into your home, making sure that he feels safe and comfortable and that he understands that you're going to be coming back to him. Other than that, he's a great dog. When Aspen, one of our techs here, did his intake, she called him a sweet boy and that he's very excited. As you can see, he's wants to play with his toys. He wants to be getting attention from the people around him. He's full of energy, and he's just looking for his forever home. He's friendly, excited. He does jump, as you've seen a little bit here, but that's only because he's being playful and he wants your attention. And that's something that with training, if you're not into the small jumps of excitement, you can work on getting him to know that he's not allowed to do that, and he's eagerly waiting for a treat. Treats are a great way to modify your dog's behavior and give them rewards for doing what you want them to do. So if you're interested in Duke rather, who knows a lot of things, he knows how to sit and he gives his paw too apparently, and he loves hard toys. There you go, good boy. He's going to make a great addition to any family. This is Ginger. You may have seen her on the show before. She gets a lot of interest here in the shelter, but unfortunately, most of the time, recently her applications have been falling off. And that's not through any fault of Ginger's. It's because the places where the potential adopters are living have requirements about breed and size for their animals. So because Ginger, as a shepherd mix, is not allowed to live in those apartment complexes, she's still here looking for her forever home. And that's a really important thing that you want to take account of when you're looking to bring any pet into your home, but especially a dog. A lot of apartment complexes have restrictions on what the size of your animal can be when you're living there, and the breeds. And it's also certain HOAs, communities, homeowners associations even have restrictions on what they and home insurance companies have restrictions on what animals they're going to cover you for. So if you're interested in things like a German Shepherd or a Pit Bull, really find that out before you come in and look, because you can put in an application for an animal and fall in love and then realize once we call and contact your landlord that it's just not going to work out. So Ginger's still here. She still has a little bit of puppy in her at 1 year old, but she's definitely settled down a lot since she's been here at the shelter. She loves her squeaky toys. She's learning to walk better on leash. She loves her time in the play yard to run. She's definitely going to be an animal that if you take her home, she's going to be needing long walks, long runs, definitely lots of time to run in a play yard or a dog park. She gets along well with other dogs. She gets along with, men, women, children. She's not upset about strangers. The one thing that Ginger does not like, though, is cats. So if you have a cat in your home already, Ginger is not going to be a good fit for your family. Other than those things, she was a stray, so we don't know much about her past, but she's definitely coming along nicely. She's getting a lot of attention from our volunteers, and they're teaching her some good manners, and she's just moving right along. So if you think that Ginger's going to be a good fit for your family and she fits in with the requirements of what you're allowed to have in your home, come by and visit. This next guest is Victoria, and she's actually our longest canine resident right now. And Victoria's a great dog. All of our volunteers and staff love her, but she's one of those green tag dogs who doesn't do necessarily very well in the shelter environment. She is very smart, very playful, and she loves attention from people. But so in her kennel, she's bored often, and she's a little lonely. So when you see her in her kennel, that's not the real Victoria. The best way to get to know Victoria is to take her out into the play yard, where she's a completely different animal. She's very well mannered, she walks well on leash, she sits well like she's doing right now, she loves attention, she loves to play, she's a big fan of tug of war, and she loves to do scent work. So if you throw a treat out, she likes to play find it and sniff that treat out. That's one of her favorite things to do. She does well with people. She does well with other dogs in an outside of the shelter environment. If she's meeting them while she's on a walk, she's friendly with them. Because she came to us as a stray, we don't know a lot about what her past history was and how well she behaves with children or cats. But here in the shelter, we haven't seen any negative interaction with kids. I've watched a lot of kids walk by her kennel, and she just sits there and looks at them. She's really enjoying her squeaky toy right now. This is kind of what Victoria is going to do when she's at your home. She's going to play. She's going to let you love on her. She's going to just kind of sit nice and be a great addition to your family. So if you're interested in Victoria, please stop by and visit, and definitely see her outside of her kennel. That's where she's going to show you the real version of her personality. So that's going to be the best way to see Victoria. Please stop by and visit. The last animal we have for you today before we take a short break is Spice. We talked about how Victoria was our longest canine resident. Well, Spice is our longest resident of any animal. She's been with us since February, and she'll continue to be here until she finds the right family for her. Spice is an adult female lop rabbit, and she came to us from an owner who said that he just didn't have time for her. He had 4 dogs in the home, and she wasn't getting the proper attention that she needed. So He brought her to us hoping that we would find her a family that could give her all of the love and care and attention that she deserves. A lot of people see the bunnies that we have and they think that they're super cute and they want to take one home, but make sure that you're doing your research before you consider bringing a bunny into your home as your family pet. They do require just as much work as a cat or a dog would. You can't just put them in a nice outdoor box. They need to be living in your home in a similar type of a situation to what we've put up here right now with her exercise pen. They are litter trained, so that's a great thing. Makes it easy to take care of them in that way, but they do need outside exercise, sometimes even taking them out into your yard and letting them play in the grass when the weather is appropriate. You're also going to make sure that they get the right food that they need. In addition to the regular pellets, they're going to need some vegetables and some greens. And you're also going to need to make sure that while you're giving them that you're not giving them too much. Things like carrots have a lot of sugar in them, so you're going to want to make sure that they're not excessively eating those sugary foods, just like you wouldn't want to be having your kids or yourself eating a lot of food that's filled with sugar and not great for you. Another thing that you're going to want to take note of if you're considering a rabbit is that they are prey animals, so you're going to have to make sure that you're keeping them safe. If you have dogs in your home, you want to make sure that the dogs can't attack the rabbit. And because they are prey animals, their eyes are kind of on the sides of their heads so that they can see what's going on around them. So when you're approaching a rabbit, you're going to approach them differently than you would a cat or a dog. You're not going to approach them from the front. You're going to approach them slowly and gently from the top, so that that's the way to make them feel most comfortable. So you just want to make sure that you're doing a lot of your research before you come in and visit with Spice, to make sure that she's going to be a good fit for your family, because they are a lot of work and it's different types of stuff from the traditional cat or dog pet. So that's going to wrap it up for this half of Pet Pals. After the break, we'll have some great new cats that are available for adoption for you to come and see.
Thinking about traveling out of the country this summer? As we get closer to peak vacation time, the race to get a passport is on. Now there's a new way to get your passport locally. Frederick County Public Libraries opened a new passport acceptance facility in the Seaver Arts Public Library in downtown Frederick. Located at 110 East Patrick Street, the office will accept passport applications on behalf of the U.S. Department of State. While tending to your application, you can also get your passport photo taken in the new library office. No appointments are necessary, as the service is on a first-come, first-served basis. The office is open Tuesday through Sunday at varying hours. For more information, visit travel.state.gov, fcpl.org, or call the library at 301-600-1630.
Catoctin Creek Nature Center is excited to offer field trips year-round for public, private, and homeschooled students from pre-K through high school. A hands-on experience will allow students to discover and explore the wildlife in the Piedmont region of Maryland. Topics will include Catoctin Creek critters, investigating insects, and seasons of change. Having fun, exploring, and educating are the components that make Catoctin Creek Nature Center such an excellent resource for outdoor education. For more information or to schedule a field trip, please call our main office at 301-600-2936 or visit us on the web at www.recreator.com.
Getting your flu vaccine is the best way to prevent getting the flu and possible complications from the flu. People most susceptible to the flu include children 5 years old or younger, people 65 years or older, pregnant women, people with health issues such as asthma, diabetes, and heart disease, and people who take medication that might weaken the immune system. If you have the flu or want to avoid getting the flu, here are some pointers. Cover your cough and sneeze with your arm or use a tissue and wash your hands. Wash your hands with soap and water. If not available, use a hand sanitizer. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Avoid being around sick people. Stay home from school or work if you are sick until you are free of a fever for 24 hours. Contact your healthcare provider if you are sick. To learn more about the flu, please call the Health Department Flu Information Line at 301-600-3035 or visit frederickcountymd.gov/flu.
Welcome back. Next, we have a bunch of cats that are available to add to your home. If you are a fan of our Facebook page and you frequent that, these 3 kittens might be familiar to you. They were actually part of our Name That Kitten post that we had going on during the month of July. We took in a variety of name choices from different people who posted on Facebook and people who came into the shelter, and we put them all in a hat and we picked out at random the names for these guys, and they have since been named Swoops, Nash, and Iverson, and they are professional basketball player names. So Iverson and Nash are the 2 male cats, and then Swoops with the little black chin, she would be the female. They are 3 months old, and they just recently came back to the shelter from foster care. They are now available for adoption, so 1, 2, or 3 of these guys could soon be yours. They are color-coded blue, which is a great thing. These kittens, that means that these kittens are well-mannered, they're easy to handle, they are very comfortable around people and actually prefer people to toys. They're tolerant of being held, and they're gentle in their movements. They're not very stressed in the shelter environment. They're comfortable pretty much everywhere. They're typical kittens. They still like to play. They're curious, but they're definitely not as rambunctious as a lot of the kittens that we get here that are color-coded green. So, as I mentioned, these cats were in foster care, and their foster mom wrote a nice little thing about letting us know about each one of their individual personalities. So Swoops is the female cat that I mentioned. She has a black chin, and she's actually the troublemaker of the group. She loves to harass her brothers. And the foster mom said that it was usually one at a time so the other one could rest up for her next attack. And her favorite toy is listed as Q-tips. So if you have Q-tips on your bathroom counter and she's, the cat that you pick out and bring home, she's probably going to knock them all over the place, and you'll be finding them in the living room, in the kitchen, wherever. Next is Iverson, and he's the cat that is mostly all black, and his foster mom says that he likes you to carry him around so he can see all the things that he can't reach, and he'll stretch out his paws so you can touch them. And then the last one is Nash, and he likes to be cradled like a baby. She says that if you rub his belly while you're doing that, he'll probably fall asleep. So these guys have a lot of personality. They're great. They're definitely more relaxed than some of the other kittens that come in. And they are available now for adoption, so they could be yours. All right, our next guest is Mia, and Mia is 7 to 8 years old. She's one of just many senior cats that we have in the shelter right now. We have about 5 or 6 that are over the age of 5 right now. But she's still got plenty of life left in her, and she's a great kind of, sit next to you and let you pet her. She's doing all right now on Randy's lap, but she's kind of more I'm going to sit next to you and let you pet me that way so that I can kind of have my own space a little bit. She's very calm. She is a little shy. My favorite thing about Mia is her purr. She has a really loud, kind of unique and distinctive purr. And if you're on our Facebook or our Instagram, I posted a video of that where you can kind of just hear that really loud, great purr. And if you come in and adopt Mia, that sound can be making its way through your home. She is, as I mentioned, she's a bit shy, but as she's been here longer, she's starting to come, she's wanting more attention. She'll actually come to the front of her cage and she'll meow at you and try to get you to engage her and give her some attention. So she's coming out of her shell a little bit. When you bring her home, if you decide that she's a good fit for your family, she will need that adjustment period where she's kind of, you're taking things slow with her, but when she gets used to your family, she's going to come right out of her shell. Her previous owner had her only for a month, and he turned her in because he said that there was a problem with allergies and that she was scared of their dog. So if you already have a dog and you're thinking about bringing her into your home, that's something that you're going to want to consider, that she might be scared of all dogs or just that particular dog that lived in that other home with her. You also want to take into consideration a month is not very long to have a pet. For some pets, they get acclimated into their new environment and they're fine after just a few days, just a few weeks. Sometimes it can take up to 6 months before an animal gets really comfortable and feels like, okay, this is my new home. I've had adopters come in and tell me that their last pet, it took them a full year before they were really comfortable and felt great and their true personality was showing. So you want to make sure that any animal, whether it's Mia or a dog or just any animal that you bring home, that you're really giving them the adequate time to see if they're going to fit into your family. You can't assume that they're going to be an immediate perfect fit. There's going to be an adjustment period, not only for the animal, for you and all of the people that are living in your home. So this is Mia. And if you're looking to bring a great senior pet into your home, stop by and visit her here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. This beautiful girl is Jolene, and she is a domestic short-haired tortie with white. She came to us as a stray, so we don't know that much about her as of yet. She is a tortie, so she's going to have that tortie attitude that is common with that coloring. Some people call it tortitude. A friend of mine always refers to it as that. She is aged at 3 to 4 years old. She has a little bit of tartar on her teeth, but there's nothing that sticks out about her medical history. And since she's a stray, we're still learning about her personality. We have color-coded her as a green cat. And green cats can mean certain things like high energy. That's why a lot of kittens are color-coded green. In Jolene's case, it's probably going to be not about her energy level, but more because she's fearful of change. She's in a new environment that she's not used to, so she may exhibit some less than friendly behavior. She also is probably going to appear to be less social, not necessarily coming to the front of her cage and asking for attention. That's just because she's shy, but that doesn't mean that they don't want attention or need attention. She's still going to need daily attention to get her to open up a little bit more, but you're just going to have to be gentle with her and move slowly with her to get her comfortable with all the new people that she's interacting with on a daily basis. So that's, Jolene's behavior. We mentioned already earlier in the show the blue color coding, but most of the cats here in the shelter are actually color-coded orange, and that's just they're the cats that are going to be considered average. They tolerate being handled but prefer to decide when and where. They want everything to be done on their own terms, and they're just always planning their next course of action. We talked about how Jolene needs, that gentle interaction, and as you can see, she's kind of settled down while she's been here just in the last few minutes. She's getting lots of pets and attention from Randy, and she's kind of just very mellowed and relaxed. And the more you get to know her, if you decide that she's the right pick for your family, she's going to come out of her shell. Right now, she just seems like she likes to be loved on. As she becomes more comfortable, you might see a more playful side to her. Right now, she's kind of just a mystery, and you'll have to come in and visit with her and see for yourself. The last cats that we have for you today are two brothers. They are King Kong and Prince Charming. Prince Charming is going to be the bigger of the two, and he is on Randy's right side. And then King Kong is the smaller of the two, and he's on the left. He has a little, the white stripe on his nose is a little pointed. These guys have been here, as far as kittens go, they've been here a long time. They missed out on the Clear the Shelter event because they were back in isolation because they were a little sneezy. But since then, they've recovered from their little bit of a kitty cold and are back out on the adoption floor, and they're looking for their forever homes. These guys have always been housed together, but we do not have them marked as bonded. So you could take one or both of them. If you are looking to add 2 kittens to your life, these 2 guys together would be a great option for you because they have been together for a long time. They're already comfortable with each other. They love each other. They sleep together sometimes. They like to play. And 2 kittens are always kind of better than 1. When an animal is by itself, if they're bored, they're going to get into mischief and maybe do some things that you would prefer they not to do. If they're together and they have a playmate, then they can play with their other cat, their sibling, so they're not getting into as much trouble on that front. These guys are definitely very playful. Right now they're a little more subdued, but if you come by and visit them, they're always playing, sometimes getting into trouble. One of them even got stuck in his cage trying to reach out and play and be a little rambunctious, so we had to have that checked out. He is fully recovered from that incident. But if you're looking to add just 2 really sweet, very playful kittens to your life, these 2 guys would be a great option for you. So that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Pet Pals. Please tune in next week and see what new and exciting animals we have available for adoption at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center.
I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner. From the shores of the Potomac River to the foothills of the Catoctin Mountains, with all the farms and bustling communities in between, there's truly something for everyone in Frederick County. Come and explore Frederick County's rich history and be part of our bright future.